you guys found out about yourself, how did that make you feel about yourself?
I guess I first went public with my sexuality by telling my mother about who I was dating. And at first, when I told her who I was dating, I told her that, hey Mom, you know how I told you about my friend Kat? Yeah, well, we're dating. Because Eamon's name is Catherine by birth. And that's what he had been addressed as until he decided that to truly be true to himself and, you know, be the transgender person that he portrayed, he needed to have people call him Eamon. And so telling my mom about that and walking around with him in public, having, you know, obviously students at Arcadia know that he was different, quote unquote, that was probably the first step that I took in, you know, proclaiming myself as anything other than straight.
I guess I didn't have to go, you know, and tell people I was straight or anything, but when I first got to the point where I was comfortable with having like a boyfriend that I was walking around with and holding hands with, I mean, that was sort of, it was new and different because I was sort of the kind of, I didn't know how to act in public with someone that I had sexual feelings for because it just made me uncomfortable. I mean, other people are watching, it's just sort of creepy for me. But after I did that, it was liberating because, like, you get to the point where, like, I know it sounds corny, but like you're standing there looking at someone or like kissing someone and there really feels like there's no one else there, you know? So that was good. And then I guess in high school, I was my junior year, I had a friend and like we were really close and she and I would like go out and drink or whatever, do high school things, parties, and we were like kissing, we were drunk, you know, and like girls do that sometimes. I'm not the only one, I know. And you know, so then I went back to my friends and I'm like, guys, I think I'm bi. You know, I wasn't like actually bi, but you know, it's just like, whatever, you know, I'll do it. So everybody sort of looked at me strangely and I'm like, whatever, so what if I'm a waist up bisexual, you know? So that was something I still would kiss a girl if I wanted to, and I don't see myself having any sort of long-term committed relationships with girls, but if it's something fun and it's not hurting anyone else, then I'll do it. See?
I just had to. It was like,
so yeah.
You can edit that out if you want.
No. At the end, we'll just all make out.
Stay tuned.
Sticking around for the end, right? But yeah, like, I'm not, like, this is actually kind of stepping out of my comfort level a little bit because I'm not the type of person that, you know, when I meet someone, it's like, oh, my name is Kayla and I'm gay. You know, I'm not like that. I know a lot of people are and I respect them, but I'm not like that. So people have to get to know me first and then I kind of like slip it in, you know. It wasn't really until I was actually drunk when I admitted it the first time. I was in spring break in London last year and, you know, I had quite a bit to drink and one of my friends goes to me and he's like, Kayla, are you straight? And I went, no, I'm not straight. And that was kind of like how I admitted it. I mean, everybody knew. But, and that was kind of like how I admitted it.
Do PDAs, public displays of affection, make you feel uncomfortable? How far do you think someone should go with expressing their sexuality in public? Or how far do you think someone should go with expressing their sexuality in general? When does expressing your sexuality become forceful onto other people?
In regards to PDA, we all probably have the same opinion that we don't think it matters if you're gay, you're straight, you're bi, you know, you're transgender, you're cross-dresser, whatever. We don't want to see you making out in public. Like, no tonguing. We don't do that.
Hand holding is fine,
yeah.
But please, I don't want to see someone with their tongue down someone else's throat, like, you know, a mother bird feeding her young. I don't want to see that. It's disgusting. Yeah, no having sex with your clothes on, rolling all over each other. I don't care if you're at the beach
or at the club.
Even if you're half naked already. No.
I guess in regards to sexuality, I almost feel that there is, you know, a way that those that are not straight kind of need to stand up for themselves and, you know, let it be known that they're different. You know, let it be known that this is who they are and they're not ashamed of that. But I think in a way it's almost unfair to say that we have to do that because straight people don't have to identify themselves as such. You know, it's just assumed that you're straight unless otherwise, you know, outspoken, or if you're wearing a flannel shirt then you're gay. But, you know, it's almost not fair that, you know, gay, lesbian, bisexual people should walk around with a sign on their back or, you know, a scarlet letter on their chest just because they're not straight.
It's like, I know that, you know, both myself and Heather, we're both proud people and we're proud of who we are, and we you know, we're outspoken about it if you ask us. But neither of us are going to be the ones that are going to be in the gay parade with the signs and saying, you know, we're here, we're queer, get used to it. I mean, our sexuality is a part of ourselves, but we don't define ourselves with our sexuality.
Yeah.
It becomes, to me, like the same thing as someone who's a really devout Christian, you know, like Bible thumping, walking up to someone and, you know, forcing their religion on them. I mean, it doesn't, there is at some point a need for people to, you know, be out there with who they are, but if you choose not to be, it doesn't make you any less of a person or any less comfortable with who you are. It's just, you know, a lot of people, most of people around you are not as accepting as you want them to be, or, you know, as they should be. So, you know, if you choose not to, you know, walk up to someone and say, "Hi, I'm Michelle, I'm a big fat lesbian," you know, like, how are they going to respond to that, number one? And number two, like, why do you have to do that? It's not necessary. If you feel like becoming friends with someone, or like, you know, like I'll go out to a bar with you and be like, whatever, like, okay, but it doesn't make any difference at the end, you know, and there's no reason to be shoving things in people's faces, especially with PDAs, and like, even if you're straight, I'm like, I don't want to see that. So it's just, in the end, a matter of what you're comfortable with. And nobody has a really big responsibility to.
There's certain things that should just, you know, stay in the bedroom and just, you know, don't come out at all. You know, I mean, it's cool if you want to hold hands with someone, whatever, a kiss on the cheek, a little kiss on the lips, but please, like we said before, no making out in public, no sex in public.
No dry humping.
No dry humping. Even at the club. Even at the club. I know there's freaks out there. No, don't want to have any of it. I don't know, I don't want to see how you get low. Please. Low. Please.